and welcome to one of my vintage HiFi videos. Not so vintage today, but I will be mentioning a few vintage receivers at the end of this when I compare the soundbars and 2.1 system, which one of them cost quite a lot of money back when it came out. Comparing the sound you're going to get out of them to maybe just getting a receiver or an amplifier. Can be new, could be old, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be old, it could be a new one. And a pair of speakers. Actually there's a couple of pairs of speakers I tried. Just giving you my thoughts of how they sounded, like I say, compared to a soundbar and a 2.1 with two satellite speakers and a woofer. You know, where I think, you know, maybe more value lies and a better sound lies with these items really. So what have I got here? Well, I've got an Onyko, O-N-K-Y-O, and this is an LSB50. It comes with a long soundbar, and I've got the soundbar downstairs, but I haven't got room to put everything on here. Just got a few bits just to show you how I actually got it. I don't want to talk about stuff I ain't got, you know, that'd be silly, and I just want you to let you know I've definitely got it because it's here like with me. If I turn it around just to show you, there you go, you'll hopefully be able to pick up the model number. But anyway, this is what it looks like underneath. There's the actual speaker underneath, and this is acts as a subwoofer, and this is wireless. Like I say, this goes with a soundbar. Soundbar's got 8 speakers. I think the soundbar's roughly rated 100 watts, and this is rated at 40 watts. Yeah, don't forget, they're like a few other channels seem to say, they're like the new watts, so to speak. You know, even though they're rated that, you start cranking them up. They're fairly loud, but they don't sound to me like 100 watts loud, so to speak. Okay, this is what I say, wireless. So just plug the soundbar in. The soundbar's only got one input, and that's a coax input from your TV, DVD player, CD player, whatever. But Blu-ray player, should I say these days, really. So a bit limited on the inputs. But it does, you know, it does the job okay. It isn't fantastic. When it came out, it was about £300 new. I think I paid about £70 or £80 for it quite a while back now, just to tinker around. And I've had it set up here and there over, you know, different times and whatever, depending on how I've had the room set up downstairs and, you know, how easy it is to get a pair of speakers next to the telly or not. Yeah, so one good thing about this, you can place it anywhere you like. The only disadvantage with this, it's quite bassy. The lowest level of bass is still too bassy with this. It's still too bassy, so you can't put it next to the wall in the corner. If you like, you end up dragging it out, and it ends up like a coffee table. It's in the middle of the room, so to speak. And of course, you still got to plug it into an AC unit. So it's a bit too bassy, to be honest with you. But other than that, it's not too bad. I mean, you get, well, obviously plenty of rumble. You're getting a lot of rumble because it's a bit too bassy. And the soundbar itself has got 3 settings, and it sounds quite good on. I think I use it on the middle setting. I can't remember what it was now, to be honest with you. But it sounds, you know, it sounds pretty nice. It's okay. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. You know what I mean? It does its job. It's all right. And you're going to pick these up for about £70 or £80 these days, I suppose. But what I'm going to try and get to is, you know, maybe you can pick up a receiver and amplifier, a couple of pairs of speakers, do a better job than this. Right, the next one. It doesn't come with any DVD player or CD player or anything like that, Blu-ray player. You plug your own one into it, by the way. Now this one is a Denon, and it's the Denon S301. And this came out in 2007 for a mere £1,350, and in the US it's $1,599. So you're going to think, wow, this is the nuts, this is going to sound brilliant, like, you know what I mean, for that money. Right, you get the DVD player with this, it's the Blu-ray, not Blu-ray player then, DVD player with this. It's all singing, all dancing, DVD player, it does everything basically. Plays God knows how many different formats, got progressive scan, all different types of outputs and everything. Got inputs as well, you can plug in other stuff, another DVD player, tuner, anything you like. So you can select the input of this, and this connects up to this unit here, and it connects up with a great big lead. There it is, a great big chunky lead like that, connects it up. And that lead's 3 metres long. You can get an extension one, but it's 3 metres long, so this must be 3 metres away from this, or vice versa. And you've got speaker leads, I think they're about 5 metres long, something like that. These are 2 satellite speakers. Yeah, so you're a little bit limited where you can put this. 3 metres, it's got to be 3 metres away, or you're going to be in a bit of trouble. And this obviously plugs into the mains down the bottom here. The power comes out of here and goes into that. Now, like I say, it plays all different stuff and whatever. And these are 2 satellite, well, one of them on the floor, but this is a satellite speaker. It's quite heavy. That weighs an absolute ton. This is quite light really for what it is. That weighs an absolute ton. And these are quite heavy as well. They feel well built and everything in metal. Got 2 speakers in them, 2 4-inch speakers and a tweeter. Now, I think this is rated 100 watts in total, something like that. So I'm taking it. These are about 60 or something. And maybe the bottom, you know, the rumble here. the subwoofer's 40, something like that. Like I say, this sounded okay, wasn't nothing fantastic. How did this sound? This is 1350 quid. Well, you're 1350 quid, you're paying for the sound processor that does this 2.1, I would have thought. You're paying for that plays everything else. And you're paying the minimum for the speakers, to be honest with you. These speakers, if it weren't for the woofer, the subwoofer in there, to cover up these speakers, because they're not great at all, I don't think, you know what I mean. They sound metally, they sound that they're in this case, exactly where they are, that's how it sounds. Yeah, so they're not fantastic, them speakers at all. Yeah, like I say, this covers it up quite a bit, helps it out a lot. But I think you're paying for all the trickery here. You're paying, you know, it weighs a ton. You're paying for all the trickery inside. It's got so many balls and God knows what else in there. Trying to get this 2.1 to get the sound coming from behind you, rather than a 5.1 or 7.1 or whatever, 9.1, whatever these new ones are, Atmos and God knows what else. It does okay, you know what I mean. You know, sometimes it sounds pretty good. It sounds okay from behind you. You're getting that kind of feeling. Sometimes, you know, depending on what film and what you're, you know, not listening to, what you're watching, the soundtrack on it and whatever, and what's happening in the film. Now this goes down. This is more controlled, this bass here, than this one. This is, like I say, goes too far. Got more control. It's not as, you know, don't go down. You've got more control on it, should I say. You know, you're not stuck with it full on kind of thing. So yeah, it's good in that respect. But £1,350 good. No, I don't think so. You know what I mean? This ain't worth £1,350. You're playing, like I say, for that trickery. And this is the mid-point, really. You know, be careful when looking for these soundbars. Paying even today £300 for a Samsung on one and that. They may sound good right in the shop, and you can hear that. I've noticed the ones my mates got, or a couple of my mates have got them. It sounds quite trebly, quite like kind of. Oh, that sounds good, like, you know what I mean. But after a while, you realise. Well, I seem to realise that this ain't really the way to go for me anyway. You know, sound wise, for that kind of money you can get, if I take this out of the way, just a simple receiver like this. I mean, I've had a couple of receivers down there today and a couple of speakers and playing a few different things, films and etc, and soundtracks, Top Gun being one of my favourites, soundtracks, lifts and God knows what else, and the aircraft and everything else, non-stop. I mean, I remember years ago when Mr. Round used to play that non-stop, and I was playing it non-stop again today. Just had a simple Rotel, the 150. You know, it's an okay receiver, it's pretty basic, it's okay, but it's cheap. And this is what this channel's about, really. It's about buying cheap stuff. Like I say, I'm starting right at the bottom, baseline stuff. If I see something for £10 or £20, well, I want to plonk it on this counter and show you, it's not going to sound absolutely brilliant. You know, nothing is for that kind of money. But it's going to sound okay, you know what I mean? It's going to, you know, to me it's going to sound okay. And it's, you know, if you're starting up, not a lot of money, or you're just working you up the ladder or stuff like that, hopefully it's something you may think, oh, well, that may be worth getting, you know what I mean? You know, mixers, it's okay. I won't tell you if anything's rubbish, I'll tell you it's rubbish. You know, it's only my opinion, but if I think the speakers or whatever, them Morphdales I didn't really much of, the Elex speakers, if I think anything's rubbish, I'll tell you it's rubbish, you know what I mean? And some of this stuff, because I'm building it up, I'm going to put back on eBay, you know, and people are going to go on eBay and they're going to link and you're going to think we're never going to sell it if it's rubbish, but I'm going to tell the truth. What's the point of plonking up a channel and saying everything's brilliant when it ain't? You know, not everything's brilliant. If it's good, oh, okay, I was just saying, and it's up to you to make your mind up, you know. I'll say these speakers not great, but people are buying them all day long. You go on eBay, still buying them, you know what I mean? People's bidding on them, buying them, they're non-stop sell. It's just my opinion. Right, okay. Yeah, so I've had this going, the Rotel, but that's cost me next to nothing, to be honest with you, because it come damaged. So, but like I say, probably £20 or £30 on eBay for one of these. I would have thought, I don't think you'd be paying much. I may pay £40, something like that. But had them with the Morton Short speakers, Morton Short 10s. Now, of course, I'm not going to get these are not bassy speakers at all, and even if you turn the bass up and that, it's not going to get, you know, when you buy these, you're going to get the thunder, you're going to get the roaring, the belly churning, that kind of, you know, that low, very low bass room, you know, plate shaking kind of bass like in your house. But you're losing out a lot on other detail, like, you know what I mean, you're losing out a lot of other detail. Yeah, it just don't sound right, you know what I mean, like, sounding metally, the Denon, the Onyko was okay, weren't too bad. But you're getting much more crisper sound out of this. You're getting more detail, more crisper sound, even on this Rotel, than I am out of these. Out of a £1,350 unit, I'm getting a better and clearer sound out of this, though not a deeper sound. So that's where I'm struggling a little bit. Of course, you can buy a subwoofer, but then you're kind of going a route of buying subwoofers, and you add into it and so forth. So then I tried this. Then I got rid of this. I stuck up my Rants 1530, which I'm going to do a video about. Little repair I've done to that, or little change I've done to that at some stage. I stuck them up with Wolfdale Delta 70s, but them speakers a little bit on the bassy side. I still like them. They're a little bit bass forward, but you know, not as bad as these by any stretch. But they're a bit on the bassy side. Stuck them up with the Marantz receiver, and that sounded good. You know what I mean? It sounded good. It's plenty of crispness there. I can't even say crispness there. It sounded, you know, plenty of treble tingling and everything, and good sound effects and everything else. The bass was pretty good. You know what I mean? It's not quite going down as low as this and rumbling as this, but it's still good. It's some thuds going on, so it's quite enjoyable and everything. So yeah, I was quite happy with that. Then I tried it with me latest speakers. I just got the Morning Shorts, just a matter of interest, just because I know that's not quite a bassy speaker, and I had to turn the bass up a bit more. You know, just crank it up a little bit. But yeah, they sounded okay. They're not as thuddy and as deep as the Wolfdales. They didn't go that far, but the sound out of them's nice. It's clear. You know what I mean? It's crisp. It's detailed. It was nice. You know what I mean? And you know, personally speaking, my preference would be, without a doubt, without an absolute doubt, is to have 2 speakers and a little amplifier, a little receiver. You know, a reasonable one you're going to buy off of eBay, or you know, new, second hand, old or new. You know what I mean? It can be near a new one. It could be one a couple of years old, or it could be one 50 years old, whatever. But you know, I think if you bought an amplifier, don't matter which one it is, to be honest with you, for £40 off of eBay, bought a pair of speakers for say £50 off of eBay, and you get your own Blu-ray player. I don't know what they go for these days, £100. You're going to get a better experience than this. You're not going to get that thud. You're going to missing the thud's going to be missing a bit. But sometimes that thud's too much anyway, you know what I mean? I'm sure I've been at the cinema when it ain't been that thuddy. It can be, especially with this Onyko. It goes really deep, and it's too much. It's just you know, it's just giving you a bit of an headache, kind of like going on. You know, it's a bit like these. If you're into these cars, you know, you see these custom cars going with that bass, then this is probably for you. If you want to go that low and sound like that, but without, you know, losing the detail. But if you're not too worried about going really low and as you know, farting as they do, so to speak, then without a doubt, buying 2 speakers and a separate amplifier, separate DVD player, going to cost you, I'll say, you know, if you went 200 quid on all the 3 items, you're going to get a better sound than you are out of here, definitely. You know what I mean? For 30, it's a big difference. 1300. You know, if I had £1,350 when this come out, I would have went and bought some separates and decent speakers and really nice speakers or something, second hand or no, £400 amp, £300 or £400, and a DVD player, a couple of £100. You would have got a better experience. Apart, maybe you may have still lost that little bit of the rumble and that, but you would have got a much better, clearer, nicer, and you can use it obviously for your record player, you know what I mean, your CD player. It's got so many more advantages, even though you can plug a CD, but you don't need to because it's got a CD built in, but you could plug a CD theoretically in here, and you could probably get a little preamp and plug your record player in here. But it ain't going to say, it's going to sound rubbish. Let's put it out. It's going to sound, honestly, it's going to sound rubbish. It's going to sound rubbish. So there you go. So yeah, a video I didn't think I want to do. I will come back with some more sound testing, some repairs and some other reviews on bits and pieces. So that's it really. So I didn't really want anyone to waste their money. Just, you know, before you go out and buy, you know, especially buying a new one and paying a lot of money, just have a think about it. Maybe there's a slightly better option. And if you ain't got a lot of money, I think, you know, maybe these separates is a better option anyway. Like I say, the channel's all about as being cheap as possible at the moment, and hopefully at some stage I'll work my way up. But for the time being, it's for, you know, ground level kind of stuff. Okay, I think I've rattled on enough now. I'll say thanks for watching and see you all soon.